Welcome to my YouTube channel Ek Din Ka Raja. Let's talk about hereditary spherocytosis. Hereditary spherocytosis is one of the most common inherited hemolytic anemia. Most common mode of inheritance is autosomal dominant pattern where the disease is less severe. Whereas autosomal recessive inheritance is seen in very less patients but the disease is very severe. There is equal gender incidence and the incidence is 1 in 5,000 in the US population. The patients generally presents with a triad of hemolytic anemia, intermittent jaundice and splenomegaly. 40 to 50% of patients may show cholelithiasis. Other rare presentations are hemolytic disease of newborn and hereditary spherocytosis diagnosed first time in the pregnancy. Generally, the clinical course is stable but may be punctuated by aplastic crisis triggered by acute parvovirus infection. Hemolytic crisis, which is due to infections like infectious mononucleosis. Clinical classification of hereditary spherocytosis based on the spectrin content. Mild hereditary spherocytosis, moderate, moderately severe and severe hereditary spherocytosis. Mild if the spectrin content is 80 to 100%. Moderate if the spectrin content is 50 to 80%. Moderately severe if the spectrin content is 40 to 70%. Severe hereditary spherocytosis where you see 20 to 50% of spectrin content only. What is the pathogenesis or mechanism behind hemolysis in hereditary spherocytosis? Hereditary spherocytosis is due to RBC membrane defect. It may be in spectrin, anchorin, or band 3 or protein 4.2. Due to RBC membrane defect, RBC membrane stability will be decreased. So, there is loss of RBC membrane in the form of small vesicles, which leads to the formation of spherocytes. These spherocytes will have very less deformability, more internal viscosity and reduced membrane plasticity, due to which they will be entrapped in the spleen under low pH and low glucose conditions. Later on phagocytized by splenic macrophages. That's why it is extravascular hemolysis in hereditary spherocytosis. Diagnosis can be made by family history, hematological findings, splenomegaly, intermittent jaundice, increased osmotic fragility, increased MCHC and negative direct antiglobulin test. We see spherocytes with dark red color and no central pallor and polychromatophilic cells in the peripheral smear. There will be increased retic count due to marrow compensation in order to compensate the peripheral destruction of RBCs, spherocytes. Spleen biopsy shows congested splenic cards, increase in number of splenic macrophages with phagocytized spherocytes in them. Bone marrow shows erythroid hyperplasia with normocytic reaction. This photomicrograph shows polychromatophilic RBC. You can see in this picture there are spherocytes. The screening tests include osmotic fragility test and eosin 5-malamide assay. Osmotic fragility tests demonstrate that the spherocytes are osmotically fragile. So, increased osmotic fragility is seen in hereditary spherocytosis. Eosin 5-malamide assay is a sensitive screening test which is done using flow cytometry where you see decreased fluorescence in spherocytes. Other tests include incubated fragility test, glycerol lysis test, ectacytometry test. Biochemical abnormalities include raised serum bilirubin, raised urine urobilinogen and fecal stercobilinogen. Serum haptoglobulin levels decrease as it is an extravascular hemolysis. Serum LDH levels will be raised. Direct Coombs test is negative, which rules out autoimmune hemolytic anemia. But the definitive diagnosis requires identification of defective protein by SDS page or DNA sequencing. Coming to the differential diagnosis. First you have to know the conditions where you see spirochetes transiently, like transfusion reactions, Clostridial sepsis, snake bite, microangiopathic hemolytic anemia and copper sulfate poisoning. In G6PD deficiency, you see variable number of spirochetes along with Byte cells and Hing's bodies. Spirocytic immune hemolysis, like in autoimmune hemolytic anemia and ABO hemolytic disease, where you can go for Coombs test. Prognosis is good in mild cases. There is no specific therapy for this, no permanent cure. In severe cases, you can go for folate supplementation and splenectomy with appropriate prophylactic vaccination. Mild morbidity can be there due to complications of chronic hemolysis and aplastic crisis. Megaloblastic anemia will be there, that's why we supplement with folate. Slightly increased mortality is seen in post-splenectomy patients due to sepsis. Coming to the complications, the patient may have gallstones, gouty arthritis, leg ulcers, congestive cardiac failure, extramedullary hematopoiesis and rarely hematological malignancies. So to summarize, hereditary spherocytosis is a hemolytic disorder caused by defective vertical interactions between the lipid bilayer and the cytoskeleton of the RBC membrane, resulting in vesiculation and loss of membrane, thus spirocyte formation. As the spirocytes are less deformable, they will be entrapped and destroyed in the spleen, causing extravascular hemolysis, resulting in intermittent jaundice and splenomegaly. Can you name any other inherited RBC abnormality? Please do comment your answer in the comment box below. Thank you.